This is Alan Farley from FX Empire. Let's take a look at this week's top stocks, ETFs, and cryptos to watch. First up, we'll take a look at Zoom Video Communications. Now, last week's news from South Africa is going to dominate this trading week, no doubt. On Friday, Zoom took a very big bounce because of COVID beneficiaries, the ones that have been getting beat up through all of 2021, bounced strongly. As you can see, it pulled into this gap, and this was the earnings gap from earlier in the week, almost filled it up at about 237. Now, if this rally continues, this oversold rally on the stock in a downtrend, gets up to about 250. We have this resistance, and then we have the 50-day moving average at 268. So a lift up into this zone could offer a decent low-risk short sale opportunity. Now, the flip side may be true on Visa and other travel stocks. Visa is very dependent on European travel. As you can see, it's been selling off for quite a while, came up to the 786 retracement. It's been testing it right here for a few sessions. Now, it did bounce on Friday, even though it closed lower, so it's holding that 786, but there are no guarantees. If we find out they cut off travel to Europe from the United States again, then Visa is going to head down to this red line right around 180. But if we do find out, say, that the new virus doesn't transmit all that well, or it's weaker than, produces weaker symptoms, this could be a tradable low in Visa for a big lift into 2022. Now, CRM, Salesforce, reports earnings on Tuesday night. Now, as you can see, this has been a very strong performer. The stock really zoomed when it was added to the Dow Industrials. August 2020 came up about to 285, returned to that level in September, and broke out in October, getting above 300. Now, it's been pulling back since that time and came right back to breakout support this last week, and has held it through the Friday session. And it's going to report earnings on Tuesday night. Now, we could get a deeper dip here. We don't know what's going to happen on Monday and Tuesday. But that earnings should decide whether this is a sustainable breakout or a failed breakout. Now, moving over to crypto, let's take a look at Shiba Inu. Got to get my numbers right. Shiba Inu, yeah. And we have here on Friday, Bitcoin fell something like more than 10%. I can't remember the exact number. Now, Shiba Inu, if you take a look up close here, you can see that in Friday's session, it went and traded below Wednesday's session, but then it held it. So we have no breakdown to a new low last week after Wednesday. Now, this is good. This is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We have a little base going on here right above this support level. Now, this is also the 618 retracement. So it's possible that this crypto asset here could be bottoming out ahead of a recovery into year's end. Now, I wouldn't get ahead of the market here because of events, but it could very easily lead other crypto assets by showing this bullish divergence last week. Okay, moving on to retail. Now, retail had a pretty bad week. Stocks like companies like Gap and Nordstrom's, they dropped something like 30% after earnings. Now, that's really, really bad. The retail ETF, which covers more the brick and mortar universe than the Amazons of the world, this got up to almost 100 in January, pulled back, consolidating. Here it breaks out, gets up a little bit over 100, and guess what? We failed the breakout now, and we've come below the 50-day moving average. So this might be right in here, once we get a breakdown, a short-term short sale opportunity to get down to about the 200-day moving average and range support, which is going to come somewhere between, say, here, and here. So somewhere in the 80s. More importantly, with the breakdown here, if you look at maybe a weekly on this, you can see that we might be looking at a long-term top. It's still kind of hard to tell, but it could be a long-term, even sort of a triple top kind of thing, which we're going to find out if we get below that, because that would set off some sell signals right below this area. So it could turn a short-term short sale into a long-term short sale position. That could be very profitable. Finally, let's take a look at natural gas. Even though crude oil dropped like 13% on Friday, natural gas rose 8% because of all those shortages in Europe and Asia. And Cheniere is a very good play on this, liquefied natural gas. If you take a look back, you can see the stock broke out above the 2014 high back in May of this year, consolidated and took off, coming up to an all-time high right here above 113 in the middle of October. Now it's consolidating, and you look back on a daily chart, you can see that it tagged the 50-day moving average right here I guess that's on the 19th, and it's sort of rounding the bend, and the stock can very easily trade up to 113 and break out to a new high in the next week or two.